Before the clash of horns, before the thunder of paws, there is a quieter war. A war of voices, of doubt, of decisions that cannot be undone. The wind carried me far across the lands of Alkebulan, and what I found was not unity. The hyenas, they laughed, not at the coming storm, but at the promise of it. To them, war is not a threat, it is a feast waiting to happen. The ostriches, restless minds, swift of thought, they did not refuse, but neither did they stand. They watch, they wait, they measure the cost of choosing wrong. And then there was Kasongo, the war-scarred king, a ruler who trusts not words, but wounds. He will fight, not for Zuberi, not for unity, but because he understands what comes when war is ignored. Yet even in agreement, there is distance. For some alliances are built not on trust, but on necessity. You listen now to a voice carried by the wind. I have seen kingdoms rise in pride and fall in silence. I am Io, the watcher of winds. And I tell you this, the storm that approaches is unlike any before it. Deep within the shadowed forests, the gorillas do not rush. They do not roar. They do not answer to fear. They listen to the silence between heartbeats, to the voices of those who came before. War to them is not a reaction, it is a judgment. And judgment takes time. And while the savannah hesitated, others did not. From the ridges of bone and dust, the hyenas watched, not as warriors, but as opportunists. They saw no army, no alliance, only fractures, only weakness. And in that weakness, they found certainty.
Enough!
When voices rise, the savannah turns to wisdom, to the one who sees beyond sight, the one who speaks for fate itself. Kolu, the high seer, the keeper of omens, the voice of what is to come.
The grasslands belong to
The chiefs gathered. Pride stood against fear, strength against caution, past wounds against present danger. And when no voice could rise above the others, they listened to him. He spoke not with force, but with certainty, the kind that silences even the strongest hearts. He had seen the path ahead, and on that path, there was no victory, only ruin. And so he offered them another path, not one of glory, but of survival. To bend, to yield, to live without war. Even kings are not immune to doubt. Zuberi, ruler of claw and crown, stood at the edge of decision. For what is a king if he leads his people into death? And what is a king if he refuses to fight at all? But the wind carries more than words. It carries truth. And something was wrong. For wisdom should bring clarity. Yet all I saw was hesitation. Across the land, the pieces began to move. Zuberi's armies gathered, lines drawn across the dust. Kasongo marched, but not beside them. The hyenas spread wide, smiling in the shadows of chaos. And deep within the forests, the gorillas remained silent, watching, waiting, deciding. The wind grew heavy. The sky burned with the color of endings. And still, no truth rose above the noise. For when too many voices speak, truth is the first to disappear. And by the time it returns, the battle has already begun.